Hello everybody. So as you might know, if you're a regular follower of me and my ponies, we are currently having to leave this land that you can see here. This has been our rented field for the past 5 years now, and for the past 3 years we've had a track system on it, and I do really like this track system. It's worked really well for us. Oh, some birds. So I thought it would be nice to do a little bit of a tour of this track before we leave for our new Paddock Paradise, which if you watched the other videos you will know is currently a big work in progress. So this is the land that we are on. It's a couple of acres, I think. So we'll start off up this end. The boys are just having their dinner. So we've got a nice big open track up this side. Now the reason that I keep this open, the reason I keep this nice and open is just because it has a shared driveway next to it, and my horses are rescues that can be kind of nervous of people, so I don't want them to feel too much like they're restricted to having to be up close to the driveway where people might be walking up and down, or where, for example, the bin lorry or a motorbike or something might come down and spook them. So I give them a bit of extra space up here, just so that they don't feel too claustrophobic, and as though they have to be around people. So we've got this corner that then opens up to this side of the track. So again, this side of the track is quite wide, and that's because this area just in front of me does get quite muddy in the winter, and when they run up and down here, because it's on a bit of a slope, they have occasionally slipped, and one of them did once slip and knock the electric fence in. So when we had it a bit further up here, so I decided to open it up so that they wouldn't knock it. Luckily this wasn't on. I don't tend to have my track fencing on in winter, just because they do use the track middle in the winter months. But yeah, one of them had obviously ran and knocked the fence in, and so I thought, you know what, we're better off just opening it up and making sure that it's all safe for them. So we normally have a bit of hay up here. We have a hay box, and then I'll normally put a pile of hay here somewhere, just because we don't have another hay box currently. So we also have all of this, which is covered in a few poisonous trees. So there's an oak there, and there's unfortunately a sycamore in there somewhere. So for all of the winter, autumn, winter, spring, right up until the very end of summer, this is all completely fenced off because I don't want them anywhere near the poisonous trees and the things that they drop. So yeah, we've got one of our hay boxes here with our hay nets. These are the Shire's soft mesh hay nets. This is one of the 2-inch sizes, and I really like those for the track. So if we go down here, here's a little log pile that I was preparing to put out on the track before we found out that we were going to have to move. So I'll be collecting those up and taking them with us. And then we have this corner, which is a little bit narrower, and this is where the track starts to narrow out a bit. So there's a couple of logs there that I've had out on the track for them to step over, and also part of our track middle. So this area here that's fenced off where Ollie is, that's where I do my training. So I kind of have it come up here and then across there. So there's this strip down here of track middle. And normally in the summer, this area that I use for training, spring, summer and autumn, is all fenced off with this big track middle area, and I only open it when I'm training with them. All this is off all the time, but this bit here I open when I'm training with them, but also on a night just to keep it grazed down, but when the grass isn't as sugary. So quite often I use these bits of fencing to hang little hay toys and everything on for them, but currently I haven't got any out as I've packed everything up. We've also got a water bucket there that I use in winter. As you can see, there's a couple of gateways so they can go into this bit or into this bit. So the reason I keep my track middle open in the winter months is because our previous landowner, who owns this land, wants us to keep the grass down, which is unideal for having an EMS pony. So what I do is obviously track it most of the year, and as you can see they do a good job of destroying the grass on the track, and then I wait right until the end of midwinter, right until the end of the year, and then I'll open the middle up and strip graze it when it's sort of lost its nutritional value in all its sugar. So this is all fenced off, and then this, like I say, because the landowner wants us to use the grass, I tend to graze all this right at the end of summer when it's grown up enough that anything that could have grown in would have been outgrown, like the sycamores and stuff, and also when there's unlikely to be any acorns or anything falling. So this is our kind of loafing area. Again, usually there'd be some like log piles and toys around, but currently haven't got them out because we're packing up to go. Then we've got our 2 hay boxes, again with the 2-inch nets. We only have one 1.5-inch net on the track, which I'll show you in a bit, but we are going to have a couple more on the new track as they've adapted really well to eating from those, even though these ones tend to be the ones I like to use because they have some food related issues from their pasts. So this is our field shelter. This is going to be coming with us to the new track. This is getting moved this weekend, so that's going to be a big job. But yeah, it stays lovely and dry in here pretty much all year, which is great. We get the occasional bit of water, but it's not too bad. And then we've got our water buffet. So today they've really liked the raspberry leaf and the salt. They've eaten and drank a little bit of the hawthorn berry powder and a little bit of the herbal health as well. So it seems that they like all of them. And then over here we just have a normal water bucket. We've got nice big open doors just so it's a bit more horse friendly, so that they can see out, and so that they can leave quickly if they want to, if they hear anything. So we'll go up this side of the track. It's a lovely spot, really lovely spot. So you can see the track middle there that normally would just be fenced off there, but it has got an opening down the bottom. So yeah, normally I would have fenced this off because we are in March now, so I tend to fence it off at the start of March before all the grass starts to come through. But this year, just because of the move and everything, I have left it open just for now because we're going to be going soon anyway and all this fencing is going to be taken out. Here we've got Gucci, who's their neighbour, who they really like. Hello Gucci, good boy. And then we've got this stretch of the track, which almost brings us back to where we started. This is another kind of loafing area. So previously there were lots of horses in these fields, but they have all moved on because of the situation. So they would quite often hang out here because obviously they've got their water trough. It's really nice for rolling. Got a rolling spot there. They've got a little salt lick over there near their water. But it was a place where they could all congregate and have a nap together. So it was quite well used. And then again here I've kind of got hay everywhere where I've been moving around, circulating where I put the hay so it doesn't become too messy. I normally put a hay pile here at the minute, and then we've got our other hay box with our Shire's nets, and they're really good at pulling these out. There we go. And then we're pretty much back to where we started. Over there is where I have fenced off just so I can get through the gate easily with food, but also I used to keep all of my equipment here, so they used to be all of my agility equipment and everything, and anything that I needed for the horses in terms of like filling up water troughs, water buckets and stuff like that. And then we've also got a log here which I've drilled lots of holes in for enrichment. That will be coming with me. And yeah, we're back to the start. So this is the training area that I was mentioning, that I usually do all of my training and my agility on. I do sometimes train on the track, and I exercise Reggie on this middle, and I also exercise him up that hill. But yeah, it's been a super good track for the last 5 years. Well, plot of land and then track for the last 3 years. But I think we're going to really enjoy the new place and everything that we're building on it even more, because the idea of, you know, just the newness of being able to work on a new and exciting piece of land, and this time from total scratch, is really exciting and has really inspired me to try and create the perfect paddock paradise. So yeah, that's the current track.